So anyways, this is a spy shot of taken a few months ago. And our otaku spies have been hard at work looking for any scoop information they could find. And they were able to dig up some dirt on the next gen Honda Civic Type R.
Wow.
So
already,
yeah,
huh?
so the current 5th generation cars, you know, it's a true driver's car. We all love it. I mean, I'm not a big Honda fan, and I don't like the, I'm not
You like those looks, Sam. That's what I
No,
remember you
you
always
know,
say.
I
You
just-
say,
I'm
this is
not a
my
big fan of
favorite
the
Civic
style.
I've ever seen.
No,
James, you always tell me that. You say,
didn't say
I
that.
love this car. It's my
Okay,
favorite.
I'm going to have to defer
Beautiful.
to Jordan. Hey, Jordan, what do you think about the looks of the? Let me put. You remember what the Honda?
I'll get it, Sam.
Okay.
The new,
Hold on. Then
the
let me
one.
turn this off.
The
But the
current
Honda,
Civic Type R.
yeah, Type R looks right. It's.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the looks?
Yeah, I am.
think it looks good. Okay,
I
I might be the only one. I thought you would. I thought you would agree with me, Jordan, because you like the glasses I'm wearing too. You know. Yeah.
No,
so
I think.
Okay. Oh, the front looks okay. It's the rear. Is there a rear of the car? There it is. The second one.
Yeah,
Not a big fan of the rear. You know.
I agree with you on the rear.
There you
it's
go.
It's a bit overworked.
Yeah,
you know?
a little
It's,
over-designed. Yeah. So
It's
anyway.
over-designed. Yeah, it's over-designed. But you know, I think the proportions of the car look good. The in that spy shot, I think looks like they may have continued those proportions.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like I mean, it's still
Gonna be just the same.
Yeah. I think it's I'm all about proportions in car bodies and shapes, and it's something that my eye tends to be drawn to. And you know, I do like the current Civic Type R, and from what I've seen in the spy shot, I think they're going to stick with that winning formula.
I think so too. Well, anyways, back to our future car here. But the 5th generation car made its debut in 2017, so it's been 3 years. So we're not expecting an all-new model. And this car, as I think James has pointed out a couple times, it has really represented the standard in terms of front-wheel drive performance cars. I mean, not long after its debut, the thing lapped the Nordschleife right at the Nurburgring in 7 minutes and 43.8 seconds. So that's pretty fast. I mean, if you want to compare it with other cars, the 2004 Chevy Corvette Z06 did it in 7 minutes and 55 seconds, which is more than 10 seconds off the Civic space. And, you know, that's a, high-powered rear drive car.
Yeah.
So the new FK8 is what the in-house designation of that car is. Was supposed to be released this summer. So, you know, anytime now, it could have been released already. But because of the worldwide pandemic, you know, it was postponed like everything else. And rightly so. You can't, it's hard to probably, I would hate to see them do a virtual, introduction of this car, right? It needs to be like at a track and all that stuff. So, but because of its post-moment, we've got a few more information on this car because our nice otaku spies have been digging around. So expect this car, the Honda engineers expect this car to be smoother and more civil on the roads, but there will not be a compromise in performance. So they put a lot of work into tuning the suspension. And let me go ahead and put that image of the car here. Here's this one. That's the rear. So to me, they reworked the rear. I'm hoping they listen to me.
That's a bigger wing, isn't it, though?
Yeah, well, I think the Type R right now has a pretty big wing, right? So
yeah,
that tiny exhaust, though. I mean, it's a pea shooter they've got out the back there.
Yeah, well, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's a new type of exhaust. Maybe it's there to like throw people off.
It is a prototype.
Say again? And it is
a prototype. Yeah.
It is, of course, it's prototype. Yeah. And there's rumors that there's going to be a very limited edition model, 200, and about 200 of them we hear, with lots of carbon fiber and other special equipment. And unfortunately, our dang otaku said that will only be available in Japan, like a lot of some
really?
cars are. Yeah, unfortunately. But the car will continue with the turbocharged 2-liter inline-4, and we hear there's going to be a pretty significant bump in horsepower. They say it's going to produce 320 horsepower, which is about 20 horsepower up from the current engine, right? And torque should be about the same. And get this, following in the footsteps of the NSX, the Acura NSX, even though they call it the Honda NSX over there. But Gran Turismo players know as a Honda NSX, I think, because it's usually Honda NSX, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's a possibility of a hybrid model, and one that'll produce
A hybrid Type R?
a hybrid Type R, one that'll produce a combined output of 400 horsepower. So it'll be heavier than the gasoline powered model because usually hybrids are heavier with all the motors and the battery.
Mhm.
But so I don't know if it'll be quicker off the line. But if the thing comes with four-wheel drive SH handling, SH all-wheel drive handling system, super handling system they called it, like in the NSX, this car might be quicker around the racetrack. So it could be fast. Let me just give you a quick look at the specs that we got. Let me take this photo off. And guys, the spec box is going to be in Japanese, but I'll help you out here. So this is overall length. And let me give you guys a real quick comparison. Overall length is 179.4 inches according to this. And the car right now is 178.3. So that's about the same. The width is going to be exactly the same at 73.9 inches, height 56.5. So it's pretty much the same proportions, Jordan, like you were talking about before. The current car weighs in at 3,121 pounds, 3,121 pounds. And right here, it says pretty much.
That's the key right there, though. That's the weight. That's the weight where it's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so the current one weighs 3,121 pounds. This one we don't know yet. So we're thinking it's going to be lighter. And as you, sorry, I hit the wrong one. That's coming next.
Getting carried away, Sam.
Oh,
Getting
sorry,
carried
I hit the wrong button. Sorry,
Sneak peek.
So anyways, the engine is this 1995 cc, so 2-liter turbo, 320 horsepower, 6,500 RPM, and the torque here, 40.8 kilogram meter. It translates to about 295 pound-feet, so that stays the same. Here's the beauty. It still has a 6-speed manual transmission. Thank goodness. Suspension is strut multi-link. Tire size is right there. Price, again, NA.
Unavailable.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But our otakus said this. They said, hey, right now the Type R goes for about $38,000 here in the US. So you can probably expect the new one to be a bit higher, right around the $40,000 mark. So still a pretty expensive, car for a Civic, but you're getting a pretty awesome, performing car. And as for the possible hybrid version, you can expect a price tag anywhere from $45,000 to $50,000. So before I go into it any further, Jordan, what do you think?
I like it.
What do you know?
I've always liked the
Yeah, what do you know?
Spill the beans. Come on. Is it going to be in the game? Come on.
What do you know?
Tell us. You know it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the game.
Yeah, they get the stuff early.
They get the stuff early. That's one very special thing about Polyphony is that they have such a good relationship with the auto manufacturers, especially the Japanese auto manufacturers. They really do trust Kazunori and the Polyphony team to give them early access to their upcoming models. And yeah, I think the Civic obviously is a staple in the Gran Turismo series. It's like, it's a Civic, it's a Type R. It's another car that was I was exposed to through Gran Turismo. So I think they'll want to sell these. They'll want to keep the momentum going from their current model. And I think it'll be in Gran Turismo 7. I really do.
And what do you think? You think these two guys with their faces blotted out, one's Asano, Takuya Asano, the other
probably
maybe Taku
yeah.
Imasaki?
I think that looks like Taku Imasaki, yeah.
I think these are the two Takus in the car right now.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, those two guys work for Sony,
they
PlayStation out here. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And knowing those guys like that is, knowing those guys, that probably is them. Like if you follow them on Instagram and social media, like you never know where they're going to turn up or what cool thing they're going to be doing next. So
I wonder if Honda's trying to make everyone think this is a BMW by the way they camouflage this grill,
I don't know
Nice
what's going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my very first, like, my gut reaction when I saw it. I was like, is that a new BMW? And then I'm like, no, wait, like, that can't be.
Yeah, not with the two tacos driving in there,
No, no.
They both like BMWs, but James, you're a big Honda Type Civic R guy, aren't you?
Yes, I mean, I like the idea, especially like the idea of obviously more horsepower. I'm going to guess that they've still got the technology that can manage the torque steer on the front wheel drive.
Exactly,
version.
they have to.
I mean, that's going to be a
awesome
given.
about that. Yeah.
And then even if they didn't go all-wheel drive and a hybrid like version of it for the Type R that came in at 400 horsepower, if that still had the forward being able to control that torque steer, I think it'd be phenomenal. I mean,
I don't think they could. 400 horsepower.
Sam,
with the hybrid system is a lot of torque.
but then you've got a lot more weight as well that can hold it down. So
No,
you've got to think as well.
That's true.
Especially have the motors at the front as well. You're going to have that extra weight there. So who knows? I mean, it's all to do with science. But I mean, you know how much I really enjoy driving the Type R. And I think it's a good car, unlike you, who is not such a fan of it and think it's the worst thing ever.
No, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I just
think
don't
this is do you think it's an absolute eyesore and you would take your Steven Seagal sunglasses off if you were to walk past it because it's that hideous? That's what you told me last time.
Well, actually, I put them back on. But yeah. No. I think the front looks good. I just don't like the rear. I think the rear is kind of, or like Jordan said, it's overstyled.
Well, well, are you talking about the current one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
this one's I mean, this one's heavily like taped up. I mean, it's really
it's hard to see
tell what we're even looking at. But
yeah.
it's a shame we won't get to drive this in the U.S. though. We'll just have to.
No, we will get to drive this in the U.S. We won't get the super whatchamacallit.
The carbon fiber version.
Okay, got it. The limited version.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that's good then. I misunderstood you.
So, anyways,
all right.
So you guys both. What I forgot to mention, guys, is forgot to mention that in 2019 at the Nurburgring, the Renault Megane RS Trophy took the front drive lap record away from the Civic, right? It was last year, 2019. So Honda, who knows? I think with the extra horsepower, they might be looking to get it back, huh? With 300 horsepower, they might be able to do it.
Where was that picture taken? It looks like Europe.
Yeah, it does look like Europe, even though the two guys were definitely Japanese. So
yeah, the number plates were the short. And
it could be. I'll bet you it was probably around the new Nurburgring.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So if the Honda is going to become again the fastest front drive car on the production car to lap the Nurburgring, it'll need to put down a time of 7 minutes and 40 or faster, which is about 4 seconds faster than what they did before with this current version car. So,
but
yeah,
Sam,
I
was going to say the Megane is also easily twice the price of the Civic.
Yeah. So, but we're talking just lap record front.
Yeah, I know, but no, that's the Megane is a £72,000 car to purchase in England, whereas the Civic's I think half that price.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a little bit of difference.
We can't get the Renault here anyway, so
Well, you always can, but you just can't drive it anyway.
Oh, exactly. Guys like you, I'm sure have some.
We have connections. It's not me. It's Kiwi.
Great connections.
Kiwi has all the connections and the import-export business.
Okay, so Jordan, can I ask you one thing? Do you like driving Type R in the game?
Yes, I do. I always enjoy front wheel drive cars. They present sort of a unique challenge, and
understeer. It's called understeer.
Yeah, exactly, and the Type R feels good in Gran Turismo Sport, and it's a good car.